On the first Sunday of Lent this year, we are presented with two stories about temptation. From the book of Genesis, about Adam and Eve being tempted, and from the Gospel of Matthew, about Jesus' temptation. The first story ends up in a disaster, while the second one leads to Jesus' victory. Adam and Eve are God's firstborn children. They are being spoiled rotten and loved with the intensity of a mother looking at her child for the very first time. Jesus, as we say in the Creed, is also God's only begotten Son. He too is loved beyond measure, even if he doesn't have a chance of living in the perfection of the Garden of Eden. Why then do these two stories have such drastically different endings? Why is Jesus able to reject the devil's attacks, but Adam and Eve fail so miserably? One of the possible explanations may be connected to what happens on pages leading to today's temptation narratives. In Genesis, we hear the story of creation, which contains a beautiful refrain repeated 5 times at the evening of each of God's work days. And God saw it was good. On the 6th day, when the first humans were created, the refrain changes to God saw it was very good. God looked at Adam and Eve with love and saw that they were very good. In case of Jesus' temptation narrative, it is preceded by the story of his baptism. And literally 1 sentence before going to the desert, we are told that the voice of God declared, "This is my Son whom I love. With him I am well pleased." You see, in Genesis, God sees the beauty and goodness of Adam and Eve and loves them awesomely, but that love is not communicated out loud. I'm guessing that God was thinking, they must know I love them. I provide for them. I give them an amazing place to live. I care for them every day. They must know I love them. And yet, it seems that knowing was not enough to remain strong in the face of temptation. With Jesus, God seems to have learned a lesson. It is not enough to love someone and assume that they must know I love them. With Jesus, God says the L word out loud, leaves no room for doubt, guessing, or assumptions. Everyone gathered on the banks of the Jordan hears the divine, "I love you, Son." And this proclamation of love makes a world of difference in facing temptations and challenges of life. As parents, children, husbands, wives, friends, and partners, we often assume they must know I love them. For some, perhaps for many, it is not easy to use the L word or to speak about such things in general. After all, we show our love in countless tangible ways, and it truly is a good thing. But when we want to empower our children or our elderly parents, our spouses, our friends to battle all kinds of demons, it is of utmost importance that in addition to knowing or assuming our love, they can hear it out loud and clear. If the Almighty God, creator of the universe, can afford such a public display of emotions, an occasional touchy-feely conversation will not hurt you either, but it can make a world of difference for your loved one. Amen. Thank you for watching. I do hope you enjoy my weekly sermons. Please click below on the like symbol and make sure that you subscribe to this channel. If you can afford to make a donation of any amount, you can do so by clicking on the PayPal link in the description of the video. Thank you, and God bless.